it play and call it work.
Hey there guys, Quirk here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to this week's Sit and Talk featuring me. Just so you guys know, next week is going to be Dave, so if you have any questions or comments for him, leave it in the comment section below. Put Dave beforehand so that we know it's for him, and then you can just leave your question or comments that he knows you're talking about him and can answer it for you. But without further ado, it's going to be 30 minutes of me answering questions and then another 30 minutes in the vault. So without further ado, let's get started. We have Brand Gear, Quirk, aka the Beeves. The Bevs? Thanks. Steve's in the room right now, so if I start messing anything up, he's going to help me out here. The Bevs. Oh, is that a thing still? Okay. What's your favorite thing about filming with Dave and the rest of the crew? Well, if you're talking individually or like as a whole, I'm assuming since you've pointed out Dave here, you mean individually. I'll go through everybody, I guess. With Dave, it's interesting because everything's always cranked up to 11. Like, it could be the simplest thing, like making an armor check, and so you fail it, suddenly it's like fireworks go off, so you just have to get really, really excited. So everything's always super intense and go, 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 and that's pretty much what's like filming with Dave. With Steve, it's special. He's giggling over there because he knows what I'm talking about. We argue a lot and banter a lot and make fun of each other. If the camera, off camera and on camera, if the camera was on for the entire thing, it would probably, we would get fired. We would definitely get fired. So, a good example of what it's like to film with Steve is what you saw in the Royal Rumbles with the cup check and everything like that. There's a couple more coming out that it gets worse, so go ahead and check those out. There's a point when I think one of us almost died, or both of us almost died.
Save your life.
We almost died. That video's not out, so I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but pay attention to the end of those videos, because there's one where Steve and I almost die, and then Steve saves my life. Sort of. No, he doesn't. Filming with Matt is very... I find my tactics kind of get questioned a lot when I play against Matt, but at the same time, you're laughing a lot, but you know it's true. I'll move somewhere, he's like, why are you moving there? And I'm like, because that's what I want to do. But it's super easy to mess with him because he'll be doing deployment. You can just be like, oh, that's where you're going to go? Okay. And so he starts questioning everything, he has to move everything else around. Yeah, Steve's over there, he's like, yep, that's how he does it. And then filming with Josh is, oh, how would you describe filming with Josh?
Painful.
Yeah. He's very good at making you feel bad about good decisions. Is that fair?
Sure. Painful.
So, it's painful. It's painful to play against Josh because...
Soul crushing.
Well, he doesn't build his own list. He just prints them off.
Oh, yep. It's true.
It's like trying to play against the internet when you play against Josh. he's dying over it.
What?
So yeah. Steve was doing the fat guy laugh. That was
Trying to work over there. I'm shaking the room.
There's been times when Steve starts laughing and they were doing construction next door and they stopped doing construction next door, but Steve still laughs. We're like, oh, they're drilling again. Because they're all building shades.
Shut up.
Okay. Next question, we have M. Tempest. Quirk, are you going to try using any special characters in the future, such as Snickrot for the Orcs or Cronius for the Ultramarines? It would be nice to see how you deploy them, etc.
You should try to bring Abaddon in the game.
I should try bring Abaddon.
Next time you put Abaddon.
I will bring Abaddon. No. I have a tendency when it comes to special characters to just get them killed very, very quickly. So Cronius and Snickrot would die. I don't play very strategically with special characters because I usually, like, you'll see it in my Alpha Legion games. I'm just like, oh, here's a special character. I'm going to throw him at anybody. Oh, it's Alfarius? Let's just throw him out by himself. He's good enough to survive. Oh, he's dead. So, yeah, I have a tendency to throw expensive characters away. That's why I like playing Horde armies, because I don't feel bad when I have to take like 20 guys off the board. Next up we have Skull ZZ. Quirk, please go through and roll that bag of dice and remove any die that roll below average. I'm still playing 40k because seeing your luck, but it costs you games. It's not your tactics most of the time. Okay, I thought Steve was going to jump on that one. Yeah, I probably should just get rid of most of those dice. I was telling Dave that we should get dice remade, that the mark of Quirk is on the ones, because that way, you know, it would be more appropriate. Next part is, how'd you like doing the nailed it. How did you like doing the battle royale thing? Did it seem like there was too much ganging up, or was it truly a free for all? And were there not many? And there were not many. Everyone on this guy. Okay, there's not. Yeah, it was good. You're right. There wasn't a lot of teaming up. It was very much like, well, you could kind of tell like in that battle the intricacies of the office, because you noticed how like Dave and Rob went for each other, and Steve and Josh went for each other, and I just kind of stayed in the back and waited. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go after the weakest guy, and then I killed myself. Hey, I killed you in Overwatch, so shush.
Sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much how the intricacies go, because Steve and Josh are always butting heads and going against each other, and Dave and Rob have they're very competitive towards each other. Bromance. So I was like, I'm gonna jump on this and wait for the weakest. I'm gonna wait for these fights to finish, and then try and go after whoever's left over. So no, there wasn't a lot of teaming up, but you could definitely tell like where the rivalries were. So it was a lot of fun. We have Stingray Bill. Hey Quirk, when we were originally given the fate of all the Primarchs, we knew that Alpharius was killed, but we never knew the fate of Omegron. Do you believe, as some has theorized, that he became Janus, the first chapter master of the Grey Knights? No, I've seen that theory, and I get where people are coming from with that one. I'm still a firm believer that Alpharius didn't die, it was Omegron. Because I know everybody's just like, oh no, they know it was him, but there's still that like, it might have been his brother, so, because they are perfect twins. But I'm firmly stuck on the idea that Omegron died and not Alpharius. Or was
the last novel confirmed they were both killed?
Was it they were both killed?
See, I didn't read it, but I thought David White, who, if you're watching, hi Dave, he came in and told us some stories, and then they're confirmed we both dead. Someone comment below if I'm right, or if that's
that may have been it. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right, because there was a story beforehand where it was
questionable.
It was questionable whether or not one of them had died, and then the new one was confirmed. Okay. Yeah, now I have no idea how I feel about that one.
Comment below, because I'll check that out, so I want to know.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I'd be really upset if like Alpharius and Omegron are both dead. It'd be a sad day. It's a sad day. But no, I still, if that's not the case, I still firmly believe that Omegron died and Alpharius is still kicking. And if not, then yeah, that'd be sweet if he became Janus, because like he's the first chapter master of the Grey Knights. Like that's pretty awesome. And very Alpha Legion-y. So I know, let's just become the chapter master of the like most secretive chapter available. So all right, we have WB Freak 54. You got your names, guys. Holy cow. Okay, Quirk, do you miss playing War Machine Hordes? If I want to come up to MiniWarGaming beyond some 40k, would you be able to play some War Machine or some X-Wing? We don't film either of those anymore for the channel, but we do still play it. I don't play War Machine as much as I used to. Also because the one thing I really liked about War Machine was that there was no pre-measuring. And as soon as they introduced pre-measuring, it was like, oh, now it's so much easier to pull off all these crazy things. I liked the risk thing to it, where it's like, I'm not sure if I can pull this off, but I'm going to try. Now it's like, okay, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. And like all the probability and like risk taking and like hoping you can guesstimate the distances properly, completely out of it. It's just, okay, well here, we're just relying on dice rolls, and it's easy enough to modify that everything kind of gets really guaranteed. Like for most of the games that I've played, it's been a lot of like, as long as I don't roll a 4 or less, I'm going to be able to pull this off. It's like, okay. So I found that kind of took away from it a little bit for me. The new theme list came out. I took a look at them, but I don't know. I've lost a lot of interest in War Machine with Mark III. I shouldn't have, but I did, because they introduced pre-measuring. As for X-Wing, I'm noticing X-Wing is starting to go a little bit the route of 40k in the idea that it's getting a little bloated. They keep coming out with all these new ships and all these new cars and everything like that, and it's getting super bloated to the point where there's all these crazy, amazing god lists out there, and if you put the two against each other, it becomes a game of rock, paper, scissors. So even with dice rolls and things like that, for a good portion of the game, dice rolls are completely eliminated from it, because it'll be So you take C3PO. Okay, I'm going to guess I roll 0 evades. You're guaranteed 1 evade. So things like that. It's like, okay, that's one of the smaller ones now. I remember back when that was huge because Josh did that all the time. But now it's meh.
Josh tried a net list?
I know, Josh tried a net list.
I don't believe it.
Ah, it's crazy. So, but yeah, if you're ever to come up and you want to play, we could certainly play some War Machine or X-Wing. It just wouldn't be on camera. So, a few other questions. Could you / would you ever bring a Wraith Knight with your Harlequins? Well, yeah. Steve's like, how's the paint on that one going? If you look right about, there's a Harlequin Wraith Knight right there. Not actually a Harlequin, it's a Wraith Knight, but I converted it 60% of the way to be Harlequin-y. I took the face mask, green stuff, so half of it has the same mask as the Death Jester, so it's got like the giant skull with the huge teeth. The old school, what were they? The old school jet bikes?
Yep, the old
yeah.
the old jet bike top.
Where is it? It's up here somewhere. Nope, I can't find it. Okay, well the old metal jet bike tops had like the giant Harlequin face on them. Steve had an extra one, so I had Lee actually cast me 2 out of resin, and I used those as the side panels for it, so instead of having those little wings, it's actually got like these... I didn't cast it, Lee cast it. What are you doing? Okay, yes, something got recast because there was only 1 of them available. Calm down, Steve. So, actually, hang on, let me grab them, just to kind of give you guys a better example here.
You did a very good job on it. Show it off.
Yeah. I'll be happier once it's painted, but... Come here, you. Okay. So, and I try to put him in a dynamic pose of some kind, like he's diving backwards. But you can see right here on his face, there we go. So I put the skull on his face there, and then he's got the jet bike sear thing on the front. I just left the regular one on the back, and then the next up what I'm going to do is actually take some plastic card and have like little strands coming off his sword, like the ribbons that the Harlequins have. So he's going to have a couple coming off his sword and a couple coming off here, but they're all going to be flowing forward as if he's diving backwards. And that's going to be my Harlequin Wraith Knight. I just got to actually sit down and paint it. I've probably put about 8 coats of paint on this thing already and just been like, no, I don't like it, prime it black again. Nope, don't like it, prime it black again. I have a really hard time painting chevrons. So, this is where Steve's supposed to jump in and be like, that's okay, chevrons are hard.
What?
Painting chevrons.
Oh, use tapes.
All right, thanks, bud. Okay. Would you ever play a game against yourself? Kind of one of those, like when playing chess. I think it would be very funny to watch. Thought about it. I also thought about doing that by having my like alter ego Beverly come in and start playing against me. And it turns out he just rolls really well all the time.
I'll watch that.
I know you'd watch that. You'd love that. And then halfway through the game, Steve comes in and kicks me somewhere inappropriate.
Or very appropriate.
Yeah, that was my plan for that one. Would you play a game against Dave with both of you in movie costume? And if this were to happen, which armies fit your characters? I don't like wearing that mask. It's too tight. It gets so warm. If we were to do that, I would assume we'd probably play fantasy or Age of Sigmar, just because it fits the timeline there. So obviously I'd play orcs or goblins, probably goblins. I think I almost said Steve there. I think Dave would probably play. What do you think, Bretonnian? I almost want to say Wood Elves, just because they have all the like the bows and the ranger-esque type thing.
Yeah, Wood Elves.
Probably Wood Elves, not Sylvaneth, just straight up Wood Elves. Okay. Why don't you have a separate game channel where you're playing video games? Did your Skaven ever get out of that area? I enjoyed your commentary while playing. Well, thank you. I don't know. I probably could do that, but I just haven't. I don't know. Would you watch that, Steve?
Well, the thing is, I think the honest answer, and correct me if you disagree, you could do that, but then you'd have to do that. And by that, it's fun. We spend so much time doing this as it is.
Yeah.
And then what little spare time we do have, we spend over at Cheers or playing cards.
It's true. It is true. We spend a lot of time in front of the camera playing the games we enjoy, and then, like, when I go home, I don't play 40K games. I'll sit there and be like, oh, I could play Blood Bowl, or I could play Total War, or I could play Eternal Crusade, or I could play Space Hulk, or I could play, like, there's a huge list of games that I could play. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, I just, no, I don't want to, I want to escape that universe for a little bit, because tomorrow I have to go back into it. So I'll usually go home and I'm like, you know what? Today I'm going to just go home and I'm going to, like, watch some movie I'll watch a chick flick for like 2 hours, or I watched Jupiter Ascending, which I got super excited for that because it was made by the Wachowskis, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, it's the exact same premise. People are batteries. Okay. So, did you see that, Steve?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
People are batteries.
Aw.
It's the same thing as the Matrix. So, I'm maybe in the future I might jump back on and make a channel where I'm playing games, but for now, no. I like having my ability to go home and just leave work here, so I don't have to keep doing it. I actually took all the 40K stuff out of my house because I was like, oh, I come home and I see that and I'm like, oh, I should probably read this because it's a work thing, and I just don't relax. So I read the Rabute Guilliman book and I hated every second of it. Okay, and finally, if I came there, which of the people would go out and have a pint with me? Pint with me. I almost said pint with me. Oh, hi, Lee.
Hey.
Lee's here. You want to say hi?
Say hello.
Hello. There you go. I miss Colin.
Oh, we all miss Colin. Yeah, I think majority of the office would go out with you. So, okay, next one we have Big Mikey. Quirk, how do you deal with Army ADD, or does having the studio armies as well as a busy film schedule help keep you focused? Also, do you guys watch each other's sit-in talks / bat reps, etc.? As for Army ADD, playing the armies, I don't really find that we ever get major ADD when playing them, because it's not like, oh, I'm sick of playing this or I'm sick of playing that, because we mix it up quite a bit. Like, I was playing Orcs for a while, and then I started playing Harlequins, and then I started playing Ultramarines, so that's kind of how we deal with it there. But now it's, like, right now, I'd be totally fine with playing any of the three. I'd be super happy with that. What I find, and Steve can probably agree with me on this one, is that we kind of get ADD when it comes to painting.
Yeah.
Where we'll start painting something. Like, I've got Ard Boys on my desk that have been on my desk for probably better part of a month and a half now.
I have 4 different armies on this desk.
Yeah.
I don't know one at home.
Steve's got 4 different armies on his desk and 1 at home.
No, I got like 3 or 4 at home.
Oh, he's got 3 or 4 at home.
We bounce around so much.
Yeah. Like, I've got, on my desk alone, I have Grey Knights, I have Ard Boys, I have Alpha Legion, I have Ultramarines, and, well, now I have that Harlequin, but that doesn't really count because I just put that there. But, yeah, that's just what's on my desk right now.
40K Orcs.
And the 40K Orcs.
There's Infinity War Machine behind you.
There's oh, we're counting mine. Do you want to count mine?
Oh.
Okay, let's count.
7 so far.
Okay, we're at 7 so far. We've got Ard Boys, Harlequins, Grey Knights, Blood Bowl, which I guess that's just for studio, but like extra.
Still a project.
Ultramarines, 40K Orcs, 30K Ultramarines. I've got my Spider Riders, because they're right up there. Or is that just classified as the Orcs again? No, that's different, because we've got Age of Sigmar and Fantasy right there. I've got my Infinity Army, which Steve already said, that brought me up to 7. I've got a couple things. Now this is where I get into like my personal stuff, but I've got War Machine and Malifaux up there. Let's see. Oh, I've got what's the name of that game? I got it because I thought the miniatures were really cool, and now I don't really touch it anymore. But I played one game; it was fun. Relic Knights. Oh, not Relic Knights. It's a soda pop miniatures game, but it plays like a video game.
So, in short, if you guys want to come in and paint for us while we're filming,
please.
I'll totally take you up on that offer.
If anyone wants to come in and paint some of this stuff, I'd be super appreciative of it. So, yeah, and for like War Machine alone, I've got like 3 different things on the go there. Yeah. Oh, and my Battlefleet Gothic.
Yeah, I forgot about them too.
We both got Battlefleet Gothic up there somewhere. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff up here. So, yeah, that's kind of our ADD right there. But a lot of it else at the same time is like, Matt will come in and just be like, hang on guys, I'm going to prime this grenade really quick. And by the way, we're going to start playing 30K. Pick an army, and then runs away. And just drops a bomb in here. We're like, oh! So we all start grabbing armies. And then he comes in and goes, oh, guys, I'm thinking about starting Battlefleet Gothic. Any of you guys want to play Battlefleet? Oh, you do? Okay, pick an army. And just toss that grenade in the room. So, Yeah.
I was playing catch up.
We're always playing catch up, and I feel like I'm spending a lot of time here on these questions, so that's my time going. Okay, we're good.
It's a big part of our lives.
It is a big, big part of our lives, so. All right. As for watching each other's sit and talks and bat reps and stuff, I'll pretty much watch anything but my own, again, not because I know what's happening, but I don't like seeing myself on camera. I don't mind being in front of a camera, I just don't like seeing myself on camera.
I like watching my own. It's a narcissistic thing to say. I like watching me. I don't know why. I like watching my own.
See, I don't mind watching, like, if it's not my battle report, I don't mind watching me.
Actually, I'll watch, if you and Josh make fantasy, I watch the whole thing because nobody else makes fantasy. So if I want to see fantasy battle report, I gotta watch yours.
Yep. I notice I watch something if somebody uses a army that I usually use. Like if Josh has a guest come in playing Harlequins, or if Steve has a guest coming in playing Orcs, I'll watch them because I want to see what their opponent brought so that I can get some better ideas. But since we all play different armies, we don't really have that much to relate to with each other. So kind of takes that away from it. All right, we have William Kaw. I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. Quirk, a.k.a. the Bevs, a.k.a. the walking Star Trek joke. Stop nodding.
I don't want.
The Chaos Lords have taken pity on you and infected your bloodstream with orc spores and mixed your DNA. The choice is yours. Painboy, mech, or weird? Probably mech. Yeah. And I think Steve's going to agree with this, but I feel like if I was a mech and just started slapping stuff together, somehow it would work.
It would work?
It would work.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. I was thinking weird boy, but no, that wins.
That wins. Well, there's a fantasy game. Okay, here's an idea of like, I'm just going to slap this together and see if it works. Where I'm playing against Josh, and for no reason whatsoever, I flew my Griffin in between his two guys. I'm like, I'm just going to leave this here. It's not going to do anything. I'm just going to leave this here. And then one of his units panics, runs away from my Griffin into his... Great Eagle, sorry. And it runs from my Great Eagle into his, what was the Ogre artillery piece?
Something cannon.
So basically one of his big cannons. It was like his game-changing cannon because it can do all this damage. It panics and fleed off the board.
It was great.
And Steve's just sitting there going,
how did that work?
Okay, one of two things happened here. Either Quirk got really lucky or he plans this out like a genius. But that doesn't make sense because this would have to have happened, which means this would have had to have happened, which means he would have had to have done this, which means this terrible roll would have had to happen. There's no way you can plan for this. So it just means Quirk's just lucky. I'm like, all right, planned it out. He's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Good times. It was a terrible day.
That was a great day. So, all right, we've got Crazy4394. Quirk, have you ever played other games like Magic the Gathering, or do you stick mainly to miniatures?
We have many addictions.
We have a few addictions here. Also, what are your thoughts on the fall of Cadia? What battlefield would you like to see next? Okay, well, I'll answer the first part first. You know what? I'm going to answer the second part first because the first one's going to take a little bit longer. I liked the fall of Cadia. A lot of things that I've been seeing are people saying like, oh, they like retconned a lot of Abaddon's failures to make it look like he succeeded the entire time. But then I was reading through the codex for Chaos Space Marines, and even before that, you could tell they were planning this through because if you read the little synopsis for Abaddon, it's basically like he's had all his campaigns preparing for his attack on Cadia. So it's like, okay, no, they didn't retcon this. They've been planning this for a little while. So it's not like, oh, we've got Failbadon failing all over the place. We need to make it look like these were successes. No, I think they were planning that the entire time. I didn't really care for the Pokeball or 30k Ultramarines.
That was amazing.
I'm sorry. When Transient's just like, Marines, I choose you, and opens up an entire like battalion or chapter of 30k Marines.
Amazing.
Yeah, okay, that is pretty amazing. I'll leave that one alone. And I'm also a firm believer that Creed did not need to distract Abaddon for, I always forget her name. What's,
Celestine?
Celestine, thank you. I always think Celestial, I was like, that's not right. For Celestine to stab him in the back, I think she could just take him. Just a firm believer that she could have taken him on her own. No, very much enjoyed the Fall of Cadia. I read through the story and was like, this is actually really, really good. I didn't really care for like everything seems to be not going as planned. Let's just drive our gigantic ship into the planet. That's our end game. So I did like the 3 or 4 paragraphs of, all right guys, we're gonna band together and we're gonna go get Abaddon on his ship. Are you guys ready? Yeah, all right, let's build the biggest army we possibly could. And we're gonna set out and we're gonna do it. The next line is, it did not work. I was like, that's kind of funny. All right, as for your first part, have you played any other games like Magic the Gathering, or do you mainly stick to miniatures? Steve, Josh, and I recently got into a game called Star Wars Destiny. Steve, how many boxes of boosters have you purchased?
I don't know what you're talking about. I bought 4 booster boxes.
Steve has bought 4 booster boxes. I bought 4 and won my 5th. I went to a tournament on Sunday and won. And, oh well, Josh bought 1 and net listed it, so he has a pretty good deck. So, out of the 174 cards that you can get in Star Wars Destiny, I currently have either 168 or 170, somewhere there. The only ones I'm missing are ones from the starter box, because apparently it's next to impossible to find the starter boxes.
So if anybody has any starter boxes out there for sale?
So if anybody has a starter box out there for sale, let me know.
Or 4?
Yeah, I need 1 more Rey box and I need 2 Kylo Rens. And then I have the full set, and then I'll be happy until the next set comes out, and then I'm going to want to start playing that. So, but yeah, we've been getting really into that, and it's
fun.
It's become our after work activity. It's become our after work activity.
Our lunch activity.
Our lunch activity.
After Contra activity.
Yeah.
Our midday.
After Contra. So Justin got one of the, what are those, like the retro game systems?
Yeah.
It's basically the one that everybody was advertising, where it's like a little like mini NES, and you can hook that up and it has like 74 to 100 couple games on it. So I've walked in a couple times and you see Justin and Steve sitting there playing Contra. I'm like, oh, I want to play Contra. But yeah, it's become our after work activity. It's also surprisingly not as competitive as I thought it was going to be between us, because it's basically Steve builds a new deck. It beat my last deck. It still hasn't beaten Josh's net deck. All right, well, I'll rebuild a new deck. Now my deck beats Steve, and I still can't beat Josh's netlist deck.
He bought a deck.
He did. He bought a deck. I bought a deck, but he bought a deck. He got everything in the booster box, went on the internets and found out he's missing like 5 or 6 cards. So he went down to the local store and was like, do you have these cards? You do? Great, I'll take them. So in all honesty, that was probably the smartest thing for him to do, because that way he doesn't have to buy, like we did, 5 or 6 boxes.
But I like having everything.
I do like having everything. I got one of the I got one of the books with enough pages to fill every card. So theoretically, the book should be about this thick. It's like this because I've got so many duplicates, triplicates, and however many extras of all the cards. So, but yeah, that is our after-work activity. Okay, next up we have, Drew999. Quirk, it seems the dice are liking you more, still not much, in recent games. Now question, would you like to see orcs get introduced into 30K? Like maybe the Olenor campaign? Oh, okay. I don't think we really need to change anything, because when you look at like 30K and now, I could honestly see orcs not have evolving that much over that period of time. I know it's a long period of time, but like, there's nothing really new for them. So you could theoretically take the orcs from 40K, bring them into 30K using all the same rules, and they would fit. So yeah, I don't see any reason why they need to be.
They're actually really good in 40K because they're the point-wise.
No, 30K you mean?
That's right, in 30K.
Yeah.
They balance well in 30K, almost to the point where they're a little strong in 30K. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you play horse, you actually play against orcs, and it's pretty fun and balanced.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff now. I'm noticing more and more that if you're willing to bring the relics, there's a lot of stuff that's almost designed to take out hordes of guys. And when it does, it's phenomenal. Like the blaster that blows up.
Blaster, that's bad.
The chain reaction blaster. Boom, boom, boom. I think that'd be cool to just watch it wipe out an entire unit of guys with one blaster shot.
Entire army of guys that take close enough.
Yeah, fair enough. If they're packed tight enough, you could kill everybody. So, all right. There is a gigantic list of questions here. And I'm going to save that one for the vault because there's a lot of stuff. Actually, I read through these already, so there's a couple of them that I'm like, I'm going to save these for the vault because these are really good. So I'll come back to that. Oh, here we go. Orky Benji. This is going to be... How are we doing for time here? Okay, I got a couple more minutes. I lost the... Actually, did I lose the... I think I lost the timer on my camera, so I have no idea how long this has been going on for. Oh, perfect. We've got 4 more minutes. Figured out how to fix the thing. Okay, Orky Benji. Quirk, do you still play Grey Knights much? I have not played Grey Knights in probably, I want to say 4 years. The last time I played Grey Knights, there's actually a battle report on the website or in the vault between Owen and I, and that is the last time I played Grey Knights. But more recently, I'm trying to get back into them, so I went out and bought a good starting of guys, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then Matt was like, oh, you bought some Grey Knights. I bought a Grey Knight army already painted and ready to go. I'm like, that's twice, Matt. That's twice you've done this to me. Stop doing that, Matt. So I've got a... come here, you. I got a Dread Knight in the works. So this is one of those projects where it's just like, okay, I'm going to sit down and work on it for a little bit, and then I'll sit down and work on it for a little bit. So he's missing a couple parts. I got the gun, the sword. He's going to have the Psy Cannon on here. Sorry, Psy Cannon. Psy Cannon on here. Then once that's done, it's just the little decorations on the side and the dude in the middle with his baby carrier. So, but got a base. I think this was from Den of Imagination. And I love these bases. They're actually quite heavy, so I was just like, oh, I don't know how well this is going to... Wow, it's got some heft to it. So it looks great. So go ahead and check those out. But huge fan of the bases. Ended up snagging a couple of them for my Grey Knights and my Drago and my Paladins. So, yeah, I haven't played Grey Knights in years. Recently picked up the new codex, went through everything, and was like, wow, they got some new stuff. They're not as powerful as they used to be. Like, you can't take... back in 6th edition, where you could take Drago and 2 units of Paladins. They were all independent characters who could look out, sir, to each other, and you could just spread the wounds out infinitely. And then if push came to shove, you could just have Drago, like, block it for you with his 3-up invuln. So, I missed that. That was good times. But, yeah, that should tell you how long it's been since I played. The last time I played was 6th edition, where Drago could take Paladins as troops, and there's no formations at this point in time, and they were all independent characters who could look out straight to each other. So that's how long it's been since I've played. But there you go, guys. That's going to be it for the sit and talk. I have a couple more pages. I have a lot of pages of questions here. I kind of went off on a tangent there. So, ooh, and now I'm losing my voice. So guys, if you want to see the next half hour in the sit and vault, go ahead and click the link below. I'm going to be answering more questions. I have a gentleman here, his name is Sisa, who has asked a lot of really good questions here that I think you guys would be interested in. I'm going to get into topics like VR gaming, which makes me really happy. Talking about does MiniWarGaming do board games? Stuff like that. Things about we're getting into my personal life. Okay. Yeah, so go ahead, check out the vault for information on that. And thank you guys so much for watching. Just one last reminder, next week is going to be Dave, so if you have any questions or comments for him, go ahead and leave that in the comment section below in the free video here. If you're on YouTube, just go ahead and click the link that will take you to the MiniWarGaming site. You can leave a comment for him there. Just put Dave beforehand with your question or comment, and he'll know it's for him. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the vault, and happy wargaming.